Hi, good evening. I bet you're glad I warned you then, Paul, wasn't you? That the very last one, then we were on next. Good evening, Pamela. I know we've got other viewers on there. I can see the little eyes telling me there's lots of other people on. Say hi to us, and we'll say hello to you. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Bridlington Angel of Light, Christian Spiritualist. This evening is lovely Paul Hewitt, Rodney's son. No pressure, everybody. No pressure on Paul, because we all think Rodney's...
Tonight, actually, maybe he is. I don't know.
It might be. He might be actually watching. I'm just going to load it up here so if I can see.
Pressure,
oh, let's just turn that down. There we go. Let's see. Oh, hi, Tracy. Nice to see you on there. You're coming up as Facebook user. Just there, look. So I don't know what you did last week, but it corrected it. So pop yourself on so we can see the doggy. Adrian always used to wind Tracy up because the picture of her dog from a little distance did look a little bit like a goat. It's not her fault. Elizabeth Hook, good evening. You're coming up as Facebook user too. If you find you're doing that and Paul is doing readings, if you pop your name in, if you can connect and then just add your name at the end or the beginning of your message, and then he knows who's who. And Paul is from Aberdeen. It's the first time we've had him online, and not only that, it's the first time he's done blind readings. So everybody be nice, okay? Play nicely. I must. Do you like the flowers behind me there, Paul?
I love the flowers. Lovely colours.
Yeah, they're lilies. They're from our Sue Collier, who practically runs the church and just tells us all what to do, which is great. They're out of her garden of those flowers, and so they're directly from her. They're lovely, aren't they? Yeah. Elizabeth Hook says, let me put it on. You're from her mum's hometown. There you go.
All right. Well, very good. I'm actually originally from Leeds, but I live in Aberdeen. But I've lived up here for 20 years. So
you've got the Aberdeen accent rather than the Leeds. I can tell you that much. I've still got my Yorkshire accent, so I can hear your twang. Yeah, I said that right, didn't I? Well, thank you, Pamela. Look, she's beautiful flowers. Oh, and so does Caroline. Oh, good evening, Caroline. You're coming up as Facebook user as well. I can see we're going to have fun with the Facebook users tonight. I will try and help you all I can, Paul, to identify who's who. So swiftly moving on in this lovely sunshine this evening, I'll get you to do the opening prayer, if I may.
Sure. Okay, friends, just join with me in prayer as I speak to you, Spirit of God. And we ask that the light may connect with us this night, and that those in the spirit world who need to convey the messages of peace and convey the messages of love, and also convey the messages that life continues beyond this realm, may they come forward in their own light, the true light of God and the true light of spirit, bringing with them the messages of hope and the messages of love. And remember, love, like life, can never die. Amen.
Amen. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. I'm hoping that you can't hear the noise in the background, because my little house rabbits just decided to come into the church room and start chomping on the magazine rack. And, and it sounds properly like somebody's grating wood. Oh dear, it all happens, doesn't it? Hopefully you can't hear it, but if you do hear somebody chomping away, then you know. Oh, good evening, Matthew. Thank you for joining us. From many, many miles away. That's very kind of you to join us. We've got more Facebook users there as well. I'll have to have a look through my list there. I think we'll do the healing candles next, Paul, if that's all right with you. Oh, you'll have not have seen our healing candles, will you? Oh, well, you're in for a nice treat. We borrowed them a long time ago indefinitely and kind of kept them from somewhere else, but I'm sure they won't mind us having them. If anybody would like healing, send in. Please pop it in the comments, and of course we will send healing, and we'll send healing to everybody watching and everybody that needs it. Great Spirit, Father, Mother God, Here we bring upon you all those listed in our absent healing books, that it may please thee to heal them, be they sick in mind, body, or spirit, both those we know, those we don't know, and those who have no one to ask for them. We ask for them now. Amen. Did you like our candles?
Very nice.
They're very nice, aren't they? I'm just smiling to myself what Matthew's put. Look, he said, I have a bird trying to sit on top of my phone right now, so I hear you. Yeah, you won't want the rabbit sat on your phone. I can tell you, she's bigger than a small dog, and you feel it when she lands on your knee. Oh dear. So yes, I feel too. Where are we? Hello, Pamela. Are you keeping well? Oh, hi, Jan. That's nice of you to join us too. Is that they keep clicking in? I will keep saying hello as we see your names. I'm going to let Paul have a minute off to compose his thoughts and drink his very large vodka there. And I've got a little bit of philosophy and a Bible reading and a poem for you this evening. And the philosophy, I actually have this book delivered, and it actually comes from America, and they do it on a monthly basis. It's called Turning Points, and it's by a church in America, actually. And it does a daily reading for me, and I always read through it. But it had something in there that really caught my eye today. And it said, let me tell you the story of two pig-headed men. On one of Pacific Northwest San Juan Islands in 1859, Charles Griffin got into an argument with Lynham Cutler over a pig. Griffin's pig was digging for roots in Cutler's garden, and Cutler shot it dead. The men argued, and the conflict escalated with neither man backing down. Griffin was Irish and Cutler was American, and the boundary between Canada and Washington State was disputed. The two nations felt responsible to protect their citizens, and soon hundreds of American forces mobilized against 5 British warships. America and Great Britain were on the brink of a battle because of the stubbornness of two men arguing about a dead pig. Ultimately, President James Buchanan sent a negotiator to meet with the English officials, and the two nations decided to jointly occupy the territory in a peaceful way. The crisis passed, but to this day, the incident is known in history as the Pig War. And I could totally understand that, because quite often we dig our heels in over things and think we're right, and we give no leeway whatsoever, and nobody wins. There's no winners. You've got to kind of meet people halfway, don't you think, Paul?
Yes.
And so, yeah, so this goes on to the Bible reading that I have, which is Matthew chapter 7, verses 13 and 14. Go in through the narrow gate, because the gate to hell is wide, and the road that leads to it easy, and there are many who travel that. But the gate to life is narrow, and the way that leads to it is hard, and there are few people who find it. And again, it kind of reverts back there to that philosophy of digging your heels in. Here, Matthew here. That sounds like a day in the life of Canada and US border. Yeah, I can well believe it, Matthew. People really need to think about how short we are on this earth, how short a time we're on this earth, and try and get on a bit better. Which brings me to my beloved grandma, who passed away, it's well over a year ago now. And she brought me to this poem. Now, I've read this poem before, but she asked me to read it again this evening. And it's called Grandma's Pearls of Wisdom. I've travelled paths you've yet to walk, learned lessons old and new, And now the freedom of my life I'm blessed to share with you. Let kindness spread like sunshine, embrace those who are sad, respect their dignity, give them joy, and leave them feeling glad. Forgive those who might hurt you, and though you have your pride, listen closely to their viewpoint, try to see the other side. Walk softly when you're angry, try not to take offence, invoke your sense of humour, laughter's power is immense. Express what you are feeling, your beliefs you should uphold. Don't shy away from what is right, be courageous and be bold. Keep hope right in your pocket, it will guide you day by day. Take it out when it's needed, when it's near you'll find a way. Remember friends are family, of which are a precious part. Love deeply and love truly, give freely from your heart. The world is far from perfect, there's conflict and there's strife, but you can still make a difference by how you live your life. I'm so blessed to know the wonders you will do because you are my grandchildren and I believe in you. And I just thought that fitted in with everything that, so thanks Grandma for bringing that one back to me from beyond there, life after life. Oh, thank you everybody for your nice comments, that's really nice. I hope everybody could take something from that. And Paul's is on mute, bless him, that's so, just in case you're quiet, that's it. I was worried that. Yeah. Oh, thank you everybody, you are so kind, all of you, you really are. You really are. I'm so pleased that we can still do all these live services on a Wednesday because I'd miss them myself. So even though I'm live in church tomorrow and doing so many things during the week and working full time, I just love it all. It keeps me out of mischief, or maybe not. So we're going to go into that part of the evening where our Paul here is going to do our readings. Now be gentle with them, everybody. Remember, that is not done blind readings before. I'm going to assist and aid and abet the best I can. If you get stuck at all, shout me. I'll be back on screen. Otherwise, I'll be backstage drinking my coffee. I promise you it's coffee. And good luck. And not that you need it. You're going to be amazing. I know you will. You're related to Rodney. How can you not be? I hope he's watching. He'll be sat there going, yes, that's right. All right, Paul. We'll see you in a bit. Okay. I'm going backstage.
All right. Hi, everyone. I'll just put you on chat so I can see what's coming through, but remember, I can't see yourselves, so hopefully you can still see me. Hopefully you can hear me as well, so that's fine. But the way I work is I work clairsentiently, which means hello, Jan. Can you hear me okay? Yeah. Can I? Brilliant. All right. Perfect. The way that I work is I work clairsentiently, which means that I work with feeling. I also see things clairvoyantly sometimes, and I work sometimes with clairaudience. I sometimes get things in my head. You may be sitting there with, your mom on your mind and sitting, mom, I want you to come through, which is perfectly fine. But the spirit world might have your Auntie Mary, and they don't know what to do. So just sit there with an open heart and an open mind, and let's see who comes through. And don't be frightened of speaking to me. Sometimes I give things out, and if you can take some of that, we can work with it. So let's go with that. I am aware of, instantly aware of two people with me. So I know that I have Mum, and I feel like I have Dad as well. And I know that as I work with Mum, I know that Mum would have gone to the spirit world first. And I'm working with Mum here, and I know that she comes forward because I have to say that she's the louder of the two, shall we say, but I say that with a smile. I know that as I work with Mum, that I'm drawn, it's almost like I'm drawn to my stomach. So I feel my passing was perhaps related to that area of me. And I know that I become tired towards the end of my life. I'm very aware as well that I need to thank you somebody here for all the care and all the help that you gave me, okay? I know that this is Mum, and I know that I wish to speak with my daughter, she says to me, okay? I'm very aware of her, you see. I feel like the name... Is there somebody called Tracy here, please? Tracy. Who's Tracy? Tracy is my daughter. Does this make sense, please? Oh, okay. Perfect. I can see that. Perfect. Thank you. So you understand problems relating to stomach, please, and you giving this lady the assistance and the help that she needed before she passed to the other world. This seems to be quite strong in the message, shall I say. And what she's also saying, you must have been there with her at the end of this, at the end of her life, but it wasn't the end of her life. It was the transition into the new life, as it were. Because I'm aware of people around me, she tells me. People around me, not from here, but from the other world. The other world was more real to me before I passed. Do you understand that? Does this make sense to you? Because it's almost like my senses heightened before I passed. Somebody was with her. Okay, that's fine. I'm aware of that. I'm aware of that. There must have been something to do with you being there or not being there, but you should have been. That's the kind of thing that I want, all right? But it wasn't to be. It wasn't to be. But I know that somebody is holding my hand. I know that somebody is holding my hand. I know that I am not alone, she says to me, all right? But I'm aware. I'm aware of the care that was given to me. I'm also aware of a cheeky side to this lady's personality. So I know that I'm not all serious. I know that I'm very sort of light-hearted, sort of jolly, and you know, I was happy with my lot, shall we say. And I know that as I speak to this lady that she would have made pennies into pounds, all right? I'm very aware of that. And I know that as I link with her, it's almost like I am a sponge almost for other people's problems, all right? People would come to me and I would always have an answer. You see that? Very aware of changes within your life at the minute. There are changes. I don't know if you work spiritually, but there seems to be changes within that aspect of you. That seems to be important that I mentioned that just now, because I don't know if you do work spiritually or you are, but I need to say to you, if you don't, the spirit world are interested in you, and to go and find out why. All right? Because there's this light that comes from you, you see, that seems to bring people to you. And sometimes, if it's okay for me to say, Tracy, I feel that you have words given to you, Claire, audiently almost. It's almost like you know the right things to say at times. You know, when people come to you and say with their problems, and I'm saying the right thing to help. That's my gift. My healing gift is to help, to give the words of comfort and of love. And this seems to be one of the gifts that the Spirit worked with you, okay? I've just seen the response that you don't, but you should. There's something about you that the Spirit world wish to sort of, I suppose, nurture. But again, that's up to yourself. You know, we have total choice in this life. It is up to yourself. But the work you do without realizing it, is noticed by the other world. And as we do the work, we help. Our light becomes brighter. And therefore, we become more noticed. Does that make sense? It's like they link with us to help us, to give us that healing, and to give that healing to the world almost. But I'm aware that I'm with this lady, but there's also a gentleman with me who's much quieter than this lady. All right, he's much quieter. It's almost like I've been told to, you know, I'm sitting in the corner and I'm reading the paper, I'm doing a crossword, I'm happy in my own little world almost, right? But this lady was the boss, although the gentleman that she's with thought he was the boss. No, 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 she was the boss. All right, that's how it feels. Okay, two of them together. I feel with the both of them that there's almost like this telepathic link almost between them. So, you know, one look could speak 1,000 words. They didn't always need to speak to one another. It's like they almost telepathically understood the other. Do you understand that? Because they're doing that just now, you see. I also need to give, I know we spoke of flowers before the service started here, but I need to give you daffodils. The yellow. The yellow comes from the daffodils, but the yellow to me signifies spring. Now, I don't know if this lady's passing was related to the springtime, but I know that I need to be around the spring. Do you also understand the name of May from the spirit world? I need to say the name of May, not necessarily Mary. I feel it was May, or the month of May. Does that make sense to you? I'll carry on because I'm aware that there might be a delay in the responses, so we'll go with that. And with the gentleman, I'm all okay. That's fine. The daffodil makes sense then. That's fine. I still can't take away the name of May. That might be another connection, but I need to put that to one side. I'll ask the spirit world to put that on one side because I'm aware that Mom hasn't finished with me yet. Okay. Your father, I feel he was quite handy, quite sort of, you know, happy in his own little world, happy going about pottering in the garden, fixing things, just, you know, having the time of it to himself. He was quite content. He was very more aware of things, I feel, but he knew when to zone out, shall I say. I say that with a smile. All right. But there's a dry sort of sense of humour comes through with this man. And I'm very aware that I need to go around to the chest, you know, to the heart. I'm not sure if this was related to his passing, but I'm aware that he takes me to the heart center. All right. I'm aware that when I link with him, that his passing must have been quick. I'm aware that my passing was sudden. My passing was quick. But I have to say that he's got this unique sense of humour on him, but there's also a sincereness to him as well. You understand that? There's a sincereness to him. It's almost like there's two personalities coming through here. I've got the jokey side with my unique sense of humour, but I've also got the sincere side because I feel that this man was, you know, he listened, and he didn't necessarily talk too much, but what he said, people listened to. Do you understand that? That's what I kind of, you know, that's what I'm kind of feeling with him. And I'm aware of the two of them sort of just laughing together. I'm going to give you a brass band. I know we're down in Yorkshire down there, but the music, you know, the music from Glenn Miller, I can hear that, right? That's being played in the background. Like Sir Glenn Miller, the Jive Bunny, that kind of sort of music that's playing in the background. Perfect. Thank you. Okay. Sorry, I'm just reading the responses as I'm going. Sorry, apologies for this. It's like I say, it's the first time I've worked like this, so just bear with me. All right, perfect. I hear the name May again, so I'm aware that I might need to just break the link here and move to that link there, but I'm just... You have also had connections with the other world in the dream state as well. I feel like they have connected with you whilst you were sleeping. Because remember, our souls don't sleep; they continue. They work. Your body sleeps, but your soul doesn't sleep. But I feel that you have had that connection with the spirit world on the dream state, because your mind is obviously quite busy, and sometimes I feel with yourself, it's you worry for worrying sick. Does that make sense? And again, May is your aunt. Is that right? Because I keep getting May, so I need to give you that. So if that makes sense, and that's perfect. And you said to me that you do connect in dreams, because when you're going about your day-to-day things, your mind's very, very busy. So I'm aware that sometimes to clear that clutter, you need to be sleeping before they can connect with you. And I know that you get a lot of inspiration on the dream state. So we don't necessarily remember what comes through, but we get that when we need it. So it's almost like it's downloaded to us. And I know that they do work with you on the dream state. And I do know that you have seen Mum on the dream state. And I do know that you have seen your dad as well, because I've got the essence of them after I've, when I wake up. It's like I can still sense them around. And then there's a difference between a dream and a visitation. And I want to go to the side of visitation, if that makes sense. That's perfect. You've just confirmed that. So that's lovely. Thank you very much for that. I need to give the name of Bob. Now, I do feel that I might be moving from you. I've got Robert, but I feel it was shortened to Bob. I'll just go with this man because I'm aware of him, okay? Is this gentleman in the spirit world? That's all right, I'll just carry on, that's fine, perfect. But I'm just aware of this. They mentioned Bob, okay? And as I bring these two lovely people together, just to close the message and to move on to the next one. Is somebody having car problems? Because I seem to feel like there's somebody having car problems. But I felt that the name of Bob came from the spirit world. So that's fine. If you can't understand that, I could be moving on. So somebody is having car problems, because I'm just aware of that, because it's almost like I want to take the car apart and put it back together almost. But I'm just aware of that. So just giving you things that perhaps can help you know that they are there with you. And I also want to say to you that on a passing, I feel it with Mum that a clock stopped when she passed, or a watch or something like that. It's still at the time or around about the time of her passing. So I'm going to give you that. If you find that out for me, or if you don't know it for now, because I feel that, I can see it in my mind's eye. And I'll leave you, so that's true, that's fine, perfect. Thank you very much for confirming that to me. Perfect. If I can move on and give you their love, because I felt that that was a very, very strong link, and that was a good link to start with, and I'm thankful for that, and thank you very, very much for working with me. And I'll move on to the next. Thank you very, very much. Okay. Sorry, just having my water, guys. Hi, Deborah. I have a sense of a lady with me, all right, and I know that I do feel quite mumsy with her, right? I know that as she comes through, there's an element of confusion with her. I'm just aware of that in my mind because my focus has gone slightly disjointed, and normally that means to me that the lovely person that comes forward perhaps experienced confusion to a point towards the end of their life, you see. I know that this relates to mum. So again, I'm with a lady that's telling me she is mum. She's mum to somebody here today, and still is, because we've lost a physical person, we haven't lost a spirit. And love, like life, can never die. Never forget that. Never forget that. There's a feeling with the lady that connects with me now, that not necessarily just the confusion, but there was a number of health elements with her. But I actually have this feeling with her that she didn't like to talk about that. She didn't like to worry people. And I sometimes feel with this lady that links with me just now, and I know this is mum, that she perhaps didn't want to tell the full story. She didn't want to worry, her family. She didn't want to burden. I feel that was the way, but she never would have done. But she perhaps wasn't the best for her, because perhaps she didn't get the help that she needed. I don't feel, I'm not sure where I'm at with that, so I'll just keep that there, but I'll put it out there anyway. But I'm just aware of that with her. But I know that she experienced confusion, all right? And okay, Deborah, can you understand anything that I said just then? That's fine. We'll just go with it, okay? Because I understand this takes a little bit of time to come through. All right. I'm aware that there was a need for care for this lady as well before she passed. All right, and I know that I don't wish to be, remembered towards the end of my life. I wish to be remembered for the happy, sort of happy-go-lucky, energetic person that I was. Perhaps I feel like I became quite tired towards the end of my life, you see, and I'm aware of that with her. And I know that as I link here, I'm very aware of. Perfect. Thank you for confirming that, Derek. Does this make sense? Because I have a sense that I am with you. Is that okay? Can I work with you? That's fine. I'll just I'll take that yes there as a yes. Brilliant. All right. It's good fun, this, All right, but I'll keep this lovely lady with me because I'm aware of her. But would you understand, it seems to be important that there are other health ailments with her. It's not just the one thing. It seems to be that, with the greatest respect in the world, that I feel like she was perhaps ready for the transition into the other world. You understand that? I feel there seems to be a slight stubbornness, very, very respectfully put there, but a slight stubbornness within her personality. And, it's almost like I would listen, but if I thought differently, I wouldn't take that on board. I would still stick with my opinion. My opinion seemed to matter almost. I wasn't very good at listening to others, and this is brilliant. You just confirmed that for me, so that's brilliant. But it was almost a playfulness with her at times, because you know what, she was a lot cleverer, a lot smarter than people give her credit for. She was very wise. That's how I'm going to put that. Very wise, almost to a point, knew how to play people, not in a bad way, but she seemed to have that, mischievousness. I feel with her, there's that element of mischievousness, but a very clever lady, a very smart lady, and one that was, sometimes as sharp as a knife. Very, very sort of worldly. I feel, knew stuff that was going on. Very sort of, she's loving at the same time. There's no doubt about that. But she's there seems to be, there's something with you, if that's okay, Deborah, that changed the way that you felt about things. Now I'm talking sort of spiritually. There's something that switched on with you at some point. It's like a seed or a light went on within you, and it almost feels like, I want to know more. But the more that I know, the more I want to know, because there seems to be this need to know with you. I just need to discover what else is out there. Does that make sense with you? I know that's a bit cryptic, but this seems to just sort of change the direction of the message. Sorry, I just passed the window there. It frightened me. Not frightened me, but it was there. But perfect, you've confirmed that. So that makes sense to you then. That's brilliant. Okay. Because it's almost like I want to water that seed. And when you do water that seed will grow into a lovely flower. All right. But remember, time. It takes time to reach perfection. Remember, there's perfection and imperfection. So, it's about doing your best. And I feel that this is part of this message. You have been doing your best, and you will do your best, because sometimes our best isn't always perceived by other people as good enough, but it is good enough. All right. Do you understand? I understand. Oh, brilliant. Do you understand that? That's fine. Understand time. Brilliant. That's fine. I seem to be feeling that this lady's passing was quite, again, another sort of quick but peaceful, because I have this essence of almost like energy around the room where she passed, of peace, because I feel that the presence of the spirit world there. Of course they're there, because they come, they know, and they are there. They're there to guide us into our next phase of evolution. That's how I put it. But I have this lovely sort of peaceful feeling, and there was discussion about that, and it's almost a feeling of you taking comfort from that, if that makes sense. Comfort from that feeling. It's almost a reassurance. And I know that as I link with this lady, did somebody drop a flower or something into the coffin with her, that went with her? Because I see that there's something about that. These things that we do, the gifts that we perhaps leave with the lovely people that we lose, they go with them, because it's the intent. It's the intent. It's the gesture of love. It's perfect. It was a flower. Excellent. I saw a flower. Brilliant. Okay. I know then that happened, that this lady is truly a communicator. That's brilliant. Thank you very much for confirming that. I wanted to say somebody had a sore throat. That's the strangest thing to say there, isn't it? But there we go. But I'm around you, all right? Because I feel at times, just at the moment, that you've just perhaps needed just somebody to lean on, okay? Because I have a sense of, how I put it, treading treacle with somebody, or treading treacle with a situation that perhaps you feel that is never ending, but it will work itself out. And that's, you've given me a yes there, so that's fantastic. I know that this lady has been helping you, and also I'm being shown books, so I know that I'm learning, or I will be learning, but I also feel that this relates to the struggle or the difficulty with what I've just described, but there is a lesson within that won't be repeated, okay, because you've learnt it, if that makes any sense. Again, that's very cryptic, but it's not for me to know, it's for you to know, okay? But I am very, very much seeing books. This perhaps relates to somebody within the family that will be learning, or is certainly taking the journey of learning, because I need to give that, and it seems to be getting a thumbs up. Perfect, you've got that. Okay, you're getting the thumbs up from the spirit world there. I'm just aware that I'm rocking a bit, so I'm sorry if I'm going off camera, but I can't see myself because I'm looking at the messages, you see. So, and I'm in my child's room, so sorry if there's paintings and toys about me. So, all right. Okay, just one more thing, and then we move on to the next lovely person that's connecting with me just now. All right. Could you take connections? I want to say somebody was at sea was in the family at some point. Or connections, I want to say connections to Australia. Hello, Jacqueline. All right, I want to say connections to Australia, but I'm not sure that fits with yourself, Deborah. But please tell me if it doesn't, because again, I need it to be correct, okay? And because I'm aware of that sort of need to get out there, that need to see other things, if that makes sense, or certainly with itchy feet. That's what I'm trying to say, okay? So I'll just leave that with you, okay? Not sure of Australia, but I won't go. Okay, that's fine. I get that. All right. Big spiders there, I don't like it. All right. But I feel like I'm possibly moving on. But I'll leave this lovely lady's love with you, and we'll see who else comes through next. But I just need to open my window, if that's okay, because it's rather hot in here. 2 seconds. Thank you very much. Perfect. Ugh, hot. Doesn't get off hot up here often. Thank you, Deborah. Okay. I can see a man in a collie. I'm aware of a man. I know that doesn't give me much, does it? But he's got a black and white collie beside him. All right. I don't know if this makes sense to anybody, but I can take the Navy connection, Australia connection. That's fine. Facebook user. I'll need a name if that's okay. Could you understand a man with a collie? Facebook user who can take Navy connections. Okay, because I'm aware of he presented himself to me quite clearly in my mind's eye, so I'm aware of him there, and I know that this dog is jumping up with him. My father-in-law had a collie dog. That's okay. Okay, was it a black and white one? Hello. Okay. I'm very aware of, yes, okay, your father. It was a black and white one. All right. Okay. Perhaps. Right. I need to go back to the connections with Australia. And I'm aware of, thank you very much, though, Deborah. That's brilliant. Just add that confirmation there to you. So that's perfect. Okay. And my brother-in-law lives in Australia and works on ships. That's fine. I'm just aware of connections there within the family. But it's a feeling, okay, the communicator that I have with me, I just feel that the shift there. I have a lady coming through, but it's almost like I'm holding my hands. I know that I bring through love. She's got lovely sort of blue eyes, blondie sort of coloured hair, but very, again, a very sort of mumsy feel to her, all right? And I know that as I link with her, she takes me again to my chest. I'm aware of that. But I know that I must have times have had pains in my legs, because I'm aware of pains in my legs as well. I know that this lady is is here. She is also, I'm getting all the mums tonight. I'm aware that this lady is mum, okay? I'm aware of that. But I'm aware of her talking about pain in her legs, okay? And I know that as I link with her again, I feel again like I am being cared for, all right? There's a period of caring for me because I wasn't as mobile as I used to. Okay, Elizabeth Huck sounds like my mum. Is your name Elizabeth Huck, my friend? I just see Facebook user, but I'll carry on with this lady because again, I'm very, very clear. Just like I saw the gentleman with the collie, I'm very aware of this lady in my mind's eye just now. But also what I feel, when you work clairsentiently, it means it's almost to me like you almost wear the soul and become them to a point. You sort of experience their feelings and almost a snapshot of bits of their life. That's the only way I can describe that. And this is the way that this lady comes to me because I'm aware of that. And I'm aware of, I wasn't as mobile as perhaps I used to be. But certainly, my mind was very, very sharp, very still there. I knew what was going on. And again, a lady that family first, certainly. Okay, that's brilliant. Thank you very much, Elizabeth. That's fine. We'll work with yourself if that's okay, because I feel this is right. That's fine. But it almost feels like, the things you did for me, it certainly feels to this lady like, oh, I didn't want to be a burden. I didn't want to be a burden. This is how it sort of feels. But she wasn't. She never was. She never would have been. But I know, okay, it sounds like my mum 50 years. She had knee surgery before she passed into the sun. Okay, right. Keep listening. We might have a one to sort out here. Okay, but that's fine. Thanks, Anne, for coming in there. But it feels to me, I want to be this. Somebody collect. This is hopefully going to break it up, or you might both tell me no, but we'll see. Somebody collect coins. Did somebody collect coins? Okay, perhaps it is Anne, because I think Elizabeth, she just passed him. Okay, that's fine. I don't know if somebody collects coins, but I've just seen silver coins, or somebody is working financially, something like that, but I can just give you that. That's perfect. Thanks, Anne. Well, that makes sense. Okay, perhaps it is Anne that I'm working with. I'll work with yourself, Anne, but keep listening in if that's okay. Okay, just go with that. Just go with that. Just go with that. All right. But it seems to me, as this lady links with me, could you understand, please? I know that we've mentioned Australia, but it seems to me that there is, it's almost like a divide within the family. Like, I don't know if part of the family doesn't talk to the other part of the family or something like that. There seems to be, I'm not sensing any real sort of hostility, but I think just, I feel just time's just gone by and perhaps people have lost touch. This is how it feels. And it's almost time, for a coming together. This is how I feel with that. And you don't need to do anything. It's just allowing things to happen because, okay, that's fine. But there's something there, but something needs to be worked out somewhere. This is how I feel, and it will be worked out, but it will be worked out naturally. It will be worked out naturally. This is what I want to say. Sorry, I must just stop for a drink 1 second. But as I work with this lady, it seems to me that, I cared for, what I did for this lady, I did in love. It was never a burden. It was done in love. And I need to be able to thank you. And I will thank you for this now, but I will also continue to thank you for it, if that makes sense. Okay, you just confirm that to me there. And this is what I want to say to you, because this is how I wish to convey the message just now. And I'm looking at another watch, but I don't sense this is you know, I said earlier about a time stop when somebody passed. I feel that I want to say that time is a healer, and you know, you do learn to sort of live with things. You kind of get used to things without me, but I am still there. I'm still there, loving you and supporting you, and I'm only ever a thought away, she says to me here, all right, because I know as I link with this lady that my presence must have been felt since I passed. Does this make sense? My presence must have been felt since I passed. I'm aware that there's a delay with the response, so I'll carry on if that's okay. And I also want to say, my recipient here, do you feel, it's almost like I want to feel my hair played with at times, or something to touch or something like that, because I feel this perhaps happens at times to yourself. Like I get the odd flick of my hair or a touch on my cheek, that kind of thing. This is what I want to say. But I'm very aware that this is Mum, and is there, let me put this to you, is there jewellery with you? And I want to say that there is a bit of the jewel missing. There's a ring somewhere with a bit of the jewel missing. Okay? Hopefully that will help identify this lady, because this is what I'm being shown. Okay? Right. Does that, any of that make sense to you? Perfect. Can you check for a missing stone? Because I'm aware of that. There's a missing stone. Okay? And I know that this seems to link with yourself. There's a missing stone with one of the rings. Okay? There's also, could anybody, thank you, Anne. All right. I also seem to have, I know your name's Anne, but I also seem to, it's quite a lot, but the name Annie is with me. And I feel this could be a shift in communicator. The name Annie. Sometimes I feel names, and that's quite a strange thing to say, isn't it? Annie. I feel like I have Annie, Anne, Annie. Does any of this make sense? I know it's not a lot to give, but I've just heard the name Annie. This makes sense to anyone. I need to link with that person. Just bring this lady forward because I'm aware she's there. I'm also aware of a shortness of breath as I link with this soul. Okay, so I know that as I link with a lady that I feel, okay, would you understand the shortness of breath with perhaps yourself or your daughter even? Because I'm just aware that it's almost like I don't feel it's anything to concern me about, but I just have an awareness of a shortness of breath at times. Okay, so I need to pass that to you because I feel there's an element of, with yourself, sometimes you perhaps worry for worrying's sake, if that makes sense. Okay, and the spirit world are trying to perhaps alleviate how you feel about things, how you see things, your concerns, because there's only sort of, you know, the challenges that we are given in life are to make us stronger. And that's what I want to say to you. And if every day was full of sun, full of flowers, we would never get any stronger. We'd just become content. We need to we only appreciate the sun when we've experienced the storm and the rain. That's what I want to say. And that seems to be part of this message. So, you know, the difficulties that come, don't feel that, you know, oh, I'm being challenged again. I'm being, you know, it's sometimes things that come to us are there to test our mettle, and it's how we react to that counts. I'll leave this lady's love with you, if that's okay, and I'll move on to my next communicator once I've had a drink, if that's all right. Ooh, thank you, Rod. All right. Who have we got next then? Can everybody still hear me? I'll take that as a yes. Excellent. Good fun, this. It's quite lonely, though, I must admit, but it's good fun indeed. But thank you for working with me so far, and those that have come forward. That's great, but we'll go again. Just give me a second just to... Perfect. Thank you very much, Pamela. Good stuff. I heard the name of Charlie. Charlie. Or Charles. Charles is the Sunday name, but it seemed like it was shortened to Charlie. I feel a fatherly link, but it could be grandfather. I'm not sure. I can't seem to differentiate the two with this man, but you saying hello to my dad? Jacqueline. All right, but can anybody understand Charlie in the spirit world? I'm very aware that it felt like, you know, I know that this comes through because I'm aware of this chap's. There's an energy with him, a loving energy that he brings through. I have to say, very, very much, you know, he feels like father, so I'm going to go father. But this is how, you know, keep listening to me. I feel with this man as a link. Okay. I think I've been to you guys already, haven't I? It doesn't matter, but we'll carry on with, because I'm just aware of the name of Charlie and I need to link with him. But certainly, if he's got a message to convey, then I'll allow him to do so. That's absolutely no bother. But I'm aware. Would you understand, please, that with this man, I need to go again to my chest, but I'm aware. It's almost like I'm getting free tobacco smoke with this man. So I know that this man would have smoked. I'm aware of that because I can sense it within me. It's like I'm getting free tobacco. It's great, you know, not that small, but you know. But this man brings this sort of homely feeling forward. Do you understand this? And Tracy's just said yes again to me, so that's fine. I will work with this man because I'm aware that he's there. But would you understand, please, that perhaps the smoking perhaps was related in the end to how he passed, but I don't feel with him he wishes to be remembered that way. You know, he wants to be remembered for the happy-go-lucky soul that he was. This is how he comes through. But please feel free, if anybody else understands this, please feel free to put your comments forward. I'm just aware of that. I'm just aware, but I am taken to my chest, and I know before I passed I lost weight. You see, I'm very aware of losing a bit of weight before I passed. I know that as I work with this man that there seems to be an element of I just feel my appetite went, and this is how I have, you know, my appetite went. Food wasn't the same. It didn't have the same appeal as it did when I was, you know, slightly younger. So eating did become a bit of a chore, but this is how I felt, and this is perhaps how the medication made me feel. Does this make sense? But you did go, okay, that's fine. I'll just carry on going with him, because if you can understand it, that's fine. If you can't, then we'll work with it. So, but I'm aware of him. But I know that there was perhaps, you know, perhaps it was the combinations of his medicine or his medication that had the knock-on effect to him not enjoying the food, not enjoying things quite the same as he did. Do you understand this? I'm just again, okay. I feel it is you again, Tracy. I'm so sorry to come back to the same person, but he clearly had a need to come through. So just give me a minute with him, and but that makes perfect sense. Then you've said that to me. I know that this man, what he's described to me and has played out in my mind, is exactly what you sort of said there. So that's fine. Thank you very much for confirming that. But again, yes, it did. No, not at all. Not at all. Not at all. Please, no apologies. You know, if they need to come through, they will come through. There's obviously a need for him, so that's fine. but yes, I'm just aware that the combination of medication or something did impact on his day-to-day sort of living, and he stopped perhaps enjoying food and just the day-to-day sort of joys of living, although he was strong and I felt strong of character, but almost can I say inspiring to others. You see, people took strength from him and what he, but it seems to me like he was okay. You just said yes, he gave up. But I was going to say then he was ready to go to the spirit world, and I was trying to work out the best sort of sympathetic best way to put that. He was ready to go to the other world, because it was the simple joys, I suppose, that he felt had been taken away from him, and indeed they had. But can I tell you now that he is eating because I'm getting this bloody bit of cake. Sorry, bit of cake stuck in my mouth, and but I feel that sometimes if it's okay for me to say this, that perhaps his language was perhaps colourful at times. I don't mean that in a bad way, but I felt that there was an edge to him there. But certainly very, very strong-willed, very okay, perfect, that's fine. Jazz, okay. All right, perfect. Okay, I feel my communication is changing once again, but I do know that this gentleman has been spoken well of, and has been spoken well of many times since his passing, and I wish to acknowledge that, okay, because I know that his name has been taken in light. And is there I don't know if there's been talk or something, like you get the plaques on the back of chairs or on benches, that kind of thing. Does that make sense? Or has that been thought about? I'll give you that, because I feel something like that has been thought about. And there's something to do with somewhere in the family, somebody writing down their feelings to sort out their feelings, to what I'm trying to say is somebody in the family wrote a verse or a poem or something meaningful when this gentleman passed. Does that make sense? Or is that something you can find out? Because the words were received. This is what I want to say. The words were received. Okay, that's fine. So I've kind of lost track of what I've said. So if I'm not kind of connecting the two at the minute, so I'm just saying as it comes, and we'll go with that. So hopefully I'm not too off track there. But okay, that's fine. Perfect. Okay, but who collects stamps? Somebody collects stamps as well, or did collect stamps. I know you can't answer me, but that seems to be what I'm seeing there. All right. Well, you can answer me, but you know what I mean. All right. Okay. Perfect. Thank you very much for confirming that. I'm also aware, and I feel perhaps I'm moving on, if that's okay. Quite specific this is, so I'm hoping that it can be taken, but I know, sorry, there's just a tractor going by the window. I apologise for the noise. That's fine. It feels with my next communication that I had a stroke, or I had a number of strokes, but the strokes didn't take me, but it led me up to and my health deteriorated, and it led me up. It kind of led up to my passing. It's quite difficult to sort of say and to put into words that, because I know that it's still sensitive, if that makes sense. And I know that this relates to a man. Sorry, I do apologise for the way that I put that there, but as a loving sort of energy that's just sort of connected with me on, very, very, can I say, quiet, but there's strength in silence, isn't there? And this is what he brings to me. So I know that I need to be bringing strength to the person that is the recipient of this message. You see, I'm aware of him, and I know that this man, I feel again fatherly with him. So I know that at times that I would have had a stroke, and perhaps there was discussion with the best care for me, after the initial health scare, shall I put that. Does this make sense to anybody, my Dennis? Thank you for that, Lisa. Okay, please let me go with this, but I'm just aware. You're trying again, Tracy, aren't you? But we'll go with it. But I'm just aware that this is quite specific. Okay. And I know that certainly between the series, and I feel like it was a quick chain of events. That's how I feel. All right, if that makes sense, a quick chain of events. I'm just aware that there are messages coming through, so but I am aware that if I read too much, I'm sorry about this, I'm sort of going to lose my focus with this man, and I need to keep with him, if that's okay. So if you can understand that, I will try and link back in with your messages, but I need to link with him. I need to keep with him, if that's okay. But I know that it was almost like a chain of events, a quick sort of series, I suppose, of strokes that led to my passing. But I know that there was discussion and perhaps an element of disagreement for the best care for this man, for this lovely man that comes forward. Again, I keep wanting to say that there's strength in silence, but that isn't for me to know why I want to say that. So I need to give that to my Lisa. Okay, it sort of feels strong when I looked at your name there. It just felt like your dad has it. Okay, if it is helpful. Okay, we'll go with that if that's okay. You must have been very close to this man, because the reason that I'm having to sort of say is there's a fondness with him, because I can feel that in his personality, because he's smiling as he's sort of linking with me, and he's talking about the recipient here, and it's like, and I'm sorry, it's almost like he's apologizing for what happened. He but that isn't necessary, because things like that, totally out with our control, and as souls we sometimes experience that. But do you know what, the spirit world don't want us to suffer. I've always said, likes of take this as you will, but likes of when a person is suffering with Alzheimer's and things, you almost, if you can comprehend this, maybe some of you can't, I don't know, but you're almost dual existing between the two worlds. A spirit would never allow us all to suffer, would never allow us all to really suffer. And I know with this man that he certainly isn't suffering. I have to say that. Okay, thank you very much. He isn't suffering. Perfect, thank you. Don't give me too much information, though. That's the only thing. I want to know that I'm absolutely right. So, but that's fine. But I know that would it make sense to say that well, when this gentleman was, when he passed, I don't feel like I was necessarily by myself. All right, I know that I had people with me, I had people around me when I passed. But again, I have the sense of can my recipient, sorry, I feel it's Lisa, would you understand, was there a book or something that was passed down within your family? It looks like a book to me. Something like that was passed down. And it looks like I've got an inscription in it somewhere. Does that make sense? I'll leave that with you because I know you can't come back to me quickly. Okay. That's fine. And again, I keep going back to, I've seen that before tonight, haven't I? Stamp collecting. I don't know if that links in somewhere, but I don't feel that's too important just now, because I have to say that this man, your father, received the right care. I have to convey that to you. I have to say that to you. He received the right care, because I know that there was perhaps worry about that, or was he getting what he needed? He was, all right, and he knows that. But I know that, again, as I said before with the gentleman Charlie I was speaking to, I know that this man has been spoken well of since he's passed, because I know that the prayers and the love that you sent him after he passed were received by him, if that makes sense. And it just helped him that little bit more on his journey, on his next life, if that makes sense, or in his next stage of evolution. That's what I want to put. But as always, you know, they've not gone. They've only gone next door. And we only have to put our thoughts out to them. They've always got an awareness of us, you know, and I know that this gentleman, perfect, thank you. And I know that, you know, this man does walk by your side, if that's okay for me to say. And certainly, perhaps the things that he perhaps didn't do for you in life, he's certainly making up for that now from the spirit side of life. I'm not saying he didn't do things, but I just feel he felt that he could have done more. But you always feel like that, don't you? You always feel like that, you know, could I have done better? But I just feel, you know, he did his best. He did his best, and you know that he did his best, if that's all right. But he was a very hard worker, I feel, you know, and okay, that's fine. He was a hard worker, all right. But I do know. Does this mix? Okay, if that isn't sense to Lisa, does anybody else understand what I said? Because I felt very, very strongly that he's there. I know that there was a series of strokes. I know that. That's okay. We'll continue as we are, because I'm aware of him. I can sense him. I can see him in my mind's eye. I know he's there. Sorry, just 1 second. Facebook user, sorry, you just popped a name up. Can I have your name, please? Is that okay? Okay, that's okay. That's fine with me. I felt I was with you, Lisa, if that's okay. Okay, thank you, Elizabeth. That's fine. Sorry, I'm just allowing him just to come forward one more time, just to it does seem like I've been pushing against. It's almost like I'm trying to make things fit at the minute. You understand? Like I'm forcing the pieces of the jigsaw together. But not to do that. I know, again, that's quite cryptic, but this is coming to mind, so I need to give that to you, okay? And just allow things to play out as they need to. Because, again, I said at the beginning of this that there is strength in silence. And that seems to be part of the message for you just now, okay? Can I leave that with you? Is that all right? And I'm not sure what time we're on, actually, but if it's okay, I'll carry on.
It's up to you, Paul. If you've got another message, by all means, give it, or we can come to time. It's entirely your call.
Do you mind if I come to time? I'm absolutely frosting.
I can see you very warm. It must be really hot in that room there.
Yeah, I've got
no, I don't mind at all.
Open and everything. I'll just come back to you if that's all right. Sorry.
Yeah, it's all right. Lisa said she understands that. Look.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, we've lost him. It's all right. He'll be back. He just clicked the wrong button. He did that earlier on today. It's because he's on his iPad and you can't see the screen and the wording at the same time. I was just explaining you did that earlier and you'll be back in a minute.
Sorry, still getting used to it.
Everybody's saying how wonderful you were, which of course you were, Paul. Amazing evidence. Spot on. I can see that your dad's got competition. I saw everybody chatting to your dad in the comments.
Oh, right.
I did warn you, though. You see, everybody loves Rodney. I think you might have a new fan club yourself now. So there we go. So, yeah, well done. Absolutely fabulous. It really was. You did amazing messages, and everybody's saying we do leave a copy of this on the Facebook. You could always look back at some of the lovely comments you've got there. Flick past the ones for your dad. You know.
It's a different way of working because you can't. I mean, normally, you almost connect with a person, but that's sort of you're solely reliant on the spirit person. So, I guess for me, there's a lesson in that as well. So, thank you very much for having me. It's been.
That's your dad. That he says, "Well done, Paul. Mum and Dad watching."
Oh God.
And David.
Oh well, that's fine.
That's great. He did amazing, Rodney. You've got competition there. We must get you both together at some point to the church. We must. Yes, great. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, look, he's amazing, just like yourself, Rodney. Somebody's put. Yeah, that one your dad putting that himself. I was just checking. Can I get you to do I'll just have a swig of water first. Can I get you to do the closing prayer for us, please?
Yes, of course I can. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, friends, let's bow our head just for a few moments and just reflect on the night that has just passed. As we put our thoughts out to the spirit world, we thank those dear souls that have come forward tonight. Those dear souls that have come forward in light, conveying the message of love, conveying the message of light, and conveying, hopefully, that love, like life, can never die, and may the healing and the light generated here tonight be taken out into the world and used where it is needed the most. Amen.
Amen. Lord, keep us safe this night, secure from all our fears. May angels guard us while we sleep, till morning light appears. Amen.
Amen.
We were nearly in trouble then. I nearly started to sing it because we started singing it back at church again on a Thursday, and I nearly burst into song then. We'd have lost everybody in one swoop. Oh dear. Well, next week's speaker is Des Beaumont, so that'll be nice. We've seen Des before. Is popular like your dad, and like you're going to be now. We've got to have you back on now. Now you've done it. You can't tell me you can't. You see, we're not having that. We're going to have you. Oh, you won't have seen our. Your dad has, but you won't have seen our little ducky race, will you?
No.
Yeah. Well, you've been missing out. Where have you been? What it is the mediums just donate a raffle prize for us, which is a private one-on-one, and so we raffle it off and just raise money for the church. We only sell 20 tickets just to give everybody a fair chance. Oh, sorry, that's my rabbit tipping the bin up. It must be in her way. She's very stubborn. And so we do a little ducky race, and the numbers 1 to 20. Whichever duck wins is the person that wins the one-on-one. And this week is to win with Frederick Hagland from Sweden, who was our medium last week. Now, I must warn you, when I click the ducks, Paul, we can still hear you. So if you're going to say it's ridiculous or anything like that, it's okay, but we can still hear you. So here we go. Good luck, everybody. And here we go. There's some fabulous hats there. Look, Anna Mohican. Long time since I've seen one of them. And where are we? Oh, coming number 20 with your nice hair quiff. Did you see his quiff? That put Elvis to shame, that one, didn't it? And number 20 is James Wallace Turner from Israel. Congratulations, James. You win our one-on-one with Frederick Hagland from Sweden. So, and we've got Matthew Stapley from Canada on this evening with us as well. So we're very international this evening, aren't we? I know. It's fabulous. This is why I love the online, because some of these people we're never ever going to see. And it's just great to be connected to them. We'd never have met people if it hadn't been, not that I'm willing COVID on or anything like that, but I'm just saying there's a little silver lining and a little rainbow at the end of all the terrible things that have been happening. What does that say? Zoe says, you would not have lost me if singing occurred. The trouble is, Zoe, you haven't heard me singing. Ask them that have been to church. I promise you, I'm slightly out of tune, and yes, it's best left unsaid. Just to remind everybody, tomorrow we're live in church, as I've just said. That's Thursday. The doors open at 6 if you want to come and look around the charity shop, have a chat, have a drink with us. The service starts at 7. We've got Tony Swindles, Irene Renshaw, and Jean Pearson. So you've got a nice trio there of wonderful mediums coming to see us. We'll be really pleased to see you all. And the shop is open 9:30 till 12:30 each day. If you want to go and have a look around the charity shop, we are open to donations. We can collect things if you want them out of the way and sell them on. I'd like to say a massive thank you to Wayne Smith, to Sue Collier, to Wendy, to Pat Wood, Hazel, Sally, and everybody that helps out at the church, and the ladies on Thursday that put all the chairs away last week. I actually, I just thought it was mad. Well, I was thrilled to bits, if I'm honest. I was talking and I thought, oh, the chairs have gone. That's a dilemma. So thank you to everybody that helps us. It's just amazing. You're all amazing. And how can people find you, Paul, if they want to connect with you?
I'm on Facebook, I think. So if you can't see me, I'll be on my dad's page anyway. But I think I'm on your page, am I? Or
you are, yeah.
Feel free to friend me or whatever you do. That's fine.
Yeah, oh, that's lovely of you. Let's just say thanks for another lovely evening. Really looking forward to Wednesday. Take care and God bless. Oh, bless you.
Thank you.
And then, and there's Jacqueline. Well, you see, Jacqueline was at church when your dad came, and Jacqueline lives in Sheffield at the minute, but she happened to be there the day your dad and your mum came, so that's lovely. Oh. And what does Zoe say? She can imagine it's not that bad. Mm-hmm. Well, go on then. So if anybody would like to connect with Paul, please feel free. He's a wonderful medium, as you've seen. We will have you on again if you would grace us with your presence, Paul. We'd be honoured to have you back.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. I shall send you a message and rebook. Have you got anything you want to announce? Anything you're doing or you want to advertise?
Not at the minute. No, I'm kind of take me as you find me. I sort of, I think at the minute, the world needs your light. And just sitting there and, asking the spirit world to give light to the places, to people that are sick, is pretty important, especially at this moment in time with what's happening in the world. You might think that you can't make that difference, but you can, because what happens is that you've got, if one person asks for light, then another person asks for light, then that's, it kind of magnifies itself. And the spirit world can't do it without your asking for it. And remember, it's the intention of doing it, and it only takes a moment just to say, even if you're walking past somebody in the street that doesn't look well, you feel perhaps, sometimes you get that inner sense, don't you? You think, that person's not, been well. Just ask for light for them. It only takes a second. It's only a thought, and that light will get to them, because it's the intention, isn't it? So just
that's a lovely thing. Yeah, that's a lovely thing to remind everybody of, Paul. Thank you for that, because we do forget, in our busy worlds, we run past people and think, oh, they didn't look well, but then just remember to send them a bit of light. I'm just putting that message on. Look, you were brilliant, Paul. You're a very soft voice. Thank you both for a lovely evening. God bless you all. Stay safe. That's our Jan. Oh, she's changed her picture. That's a beautiful butterfly. We like the butterfly, Jan, very much. Well, I'm going to let Paul go off and finish his water and have his coffee because he hasn't had one yet, and I have, so that doesn't seem very fair of me, does it? And I shall see those of you that can make it tomorrow live at church. Fantastic. Everybody else, I will see you next Wednesday. You know where I am if you need me. You can contact me. If I can help you, I'll come running, I promise. All right. Thank you again, Paul. Good night, everybody, and God bless.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.